Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Love it.
It's somehow close to Easter.
Somehow.
Yeah, it is. It is. I guess. Well, it is officially spring, but Easter is kind of like the kickoff, I suppose, in many ways for spring.
Is it though? It depends though, because sometimes Easter falls really late, not on April like it is this year.
Yeah, I still feel like it's, well, maybe the Masters. Either way, there's many things
Masters
that are the kickoff to spring, I suppose. But yeah, Easter is around the corner, so hopefully everybody has a nice Easter weekend coming up.
We're gonna be finding Easter eggs, sitting on bunny laps, eating chocolate.
I still think the Easter Bunny is the strangest one because he always looks creepy. He always looks creepy no matter what.
It's creepy.
Like, it doesn't matter what he does or what outfit it is. Like, we went and met the Easter Bunny at Bass Pro the other day, and our son was fine, but he was just like, I'm not sitting next to this guy.
Would not
Scooted way over, and I'm like, I get it, buddy. I wouldn't either.
He's like, I'll take a picture, but I'm not getting
like
close.
A giant rabbit. It's just strange.
I know.
Like, Santa's one thing. Santa's cool, but...
And, like, you can talk to Santa. I even told the kids, I was like, you don't got to talk to him. You just sit there and take a picture.
The Easter Bunny doesn't really talk.
He doesn't talk.
It's such a it's such a strange thing to have the Easter Bunny because it's just
a photo op.
They should get an actual bunny you take a picture near or something, like, cute.
So years ago, when our daughter was like 2, I think it was before our son was born, I did a little mini spring photo shoot, and there were real bunnies.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, this is cute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, that's a bunny, not a mutant bunny. It's like a Ninja Turtle in bunny form. It's like nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. Well, she brought him just to be able to for the kids to look at while other people are taking pictures.
Yeah.
But our daughter, knowing how she is, she wouldn't sit still. And she was very occupied with the bunnies. She did not want to take a picture. So we had to scoot the bunnies into the picture. And it turned out really cute, and she ended up doing that with a bunch of other ones too.
Well, you tried taking pictures with a bunch of bunnies around you.
I know. She was just so enamored. She couldn't not. So anyway, Easter's coming. You know, my allergies are getting better and better. I'm not as nasally. I'm not as swollen. It's great. So let's bring on the beginning of summer.
Well, and that means the heat is coming. So
it's always hot.
It's fine. You kind of get used to it.
It's all right.
It's been really nice lately, but I'm just like, I'm just going to wake up. How it usually goes, you wake up one day and you're like, oh, it's 96 today and 100% humidity. Like, great. And it doesn't stop till about November. So
yeah.
It is what it is, though. It's fine. I'd rather do that than be cold, personally speaking.
Correct. Absolutely.
But yeah, so on today's show, we're not just going to talk about Easter Bunny weirdness, because it is weird. We got some news we're going to discuss, and our segment today is basically called Gone But Not Forgotten. Things that are no longer available at Disney World that
we miss.
And I'm going to make the case. I think some of this you actually could see come back.
Yeah.
And the things we would really like to see come back, because I think there's quite a list here when you kind of put it all together.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
And hopefully somebody hears it and they decide, hey, bring that back. But we'll see. But before we do that, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're not watching us on YouTube and you would like to, you didn't know there were video versions of the show, you can do that again over at YouTube at CTM Podcast, is where you can find video versions of the show and show clips over there. And, of course, if you're listening on the good old trusty audio podcast form, you can find us on all the major platforms. We're on all of those. Just ask you to please subscribe and leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate that. And, of course, if you're looking for some great theme park apparel, want to contribute to the show and want some, buy shirts from a good small business that are quality made, hand printed, shipped out to you by us. We don't use third-party printers. Then look at Capture the Magic Apparel. And like I said, we print everything in-house. We ship it out to you. And we have some new shirts going up on the site, working on some Epic Universe designs. So if you're interested in that is going to be coming to the shop. But we have all sorts of theme park and pop culture shirts you can find there. And for the month of April, use the promo code APRIL and you'll get 15% off of your order. Plus, if you order $50 or more, you get free shipping on top of that. So you can save some good money that way. And these are shirts that will last you a while. Again, we don't use third-party printers. So the inks are high quality, the shirts are high quality, and they will last you for years. I have shirts. I think this one I'm wearing is like 3 years old. I don't know. I have shirts that have been around for as long as we've been doing this show that I still wear. So they will last you a while, and they're very comfortable shirts. So again, you can go to ctmapparelco.com, use the promo code April, and get 15% off of your order. So, well, you have a shout out?
I do have a shout out
Oh.
before we go on to news. I want to shout out to Hannah, who lives in, I think she lives in Jacksonville, but she actually stopped me on the way to my daughter's art class and asked me, "Do you have a Disney podcast?" I was like, "Yes, I do." And so I started talking to her. So shout out to Hannah. It was nice to meet you. So
I didn't get to meet Hannah, but nice to virtually meet you.
But like I was close to home too,
Yeah.
so I was just like, I don't always expect people to recognize me here at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that's happened a few
was nice.
times. I've been at Costco. That's happened before, and I'm like, but I always assume people are like, "Are you so and so?" And I'm like, "Why? Maybe." Like I always get very like, "What do you want?" And then I'm like, "Oh, never mind. I'm not. I don't have to be super defensive."
Right.
Who sent you and why do you want me? But,
Sent you.
all right. Yes. Shout out to Hannah.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get to the news here. So the Grand Floridian is getting a lobby transformation that has begun.
Yeah, it started this. I think it started this early this week or last week, but they announced it last week that the lobby is getting a new bar.
Yeah.
So the design is inspired by the bird cage that sits in the lobby right now, and I think that's where the lobby bar is going to go.
It is.
So the surrounding lobby, staircase, and front desk will be refreshed with a mix of botanical accents and inviting colors to create an airy, garden-like atmosphere. The lobby will feature beautiful new carpeting with Victorian-inspired borders and scrollwork featuring hand-drawn florals inspired by turn-of-the-century botanical studies. Updated furnishings will blend rich finishes and brass accents with cozy, welcoming fabrics, plus a few playful touches inspired by Florida's natural beauty and Victorian decorating trends. So that's verbatim from the Disney Parks blog site describing what is going to happen.
Oh, I thought that was just you talking about.
I am not as colorful with my language,
Okay.
but they did a great job. This will be completed sometime in November, but that also means there will be no gingerbread house this year. So that's kind of a bummer, but I think someone from Disney, like guest services, maybe said that like they're maybe working on trying to find a different location. So it may still happen, just not at Grand Floridian.
I would
don't know.
assume they still would, because the reason I say that is because that makes them money.
It does make them money.
So I figure they will probably find a way to continue to do that. But
Yep.
be my guess.
And Enchanted Rose and other dining, plus the pools and other amenities will be open during refurbishment. But also something exciting, and this is just kind of like a blurb at the end of a sentence, that the garden tea room is receiving enhancements. And there's more details about that to come. Now, they used to have afternoon tea like every day at Grand Floridian in the tea room, and they stopped doing it. Obviously, 5 years ago for COVID and stuff.
What?
And I never got to do it, and I always wanted to take our daughter to do it, and never got to. So I would love if this came back.
I look at this my first thinking is, does the lobby of the Grand Floridian need a bar?
No, that's my opinion.
Because you already have Enchanted Rose. You have plenty of
don't like
places you can get drinks already. And if you're talking about a lot, I don't know. To me, I think a lobby ideally is supposed to be kind of relaxing. Mm-hmm. And the minute you throw a bar into a lobby, I feel like it no longer becomes relaxing. It becomes like it's going to be louder.
I don't like it at all.
It's going to be, it's going to probably be hard to find a seat in there now, because people are going to
Yep.
either be sitting at the bar or going to the bar sitting down. So like your places just to relax or wait for your room or something go away. I'm not against having places to get drinks on property, but I just think a bar in this hotel seems odd.
I really don't like it. For all the reasons you said, it'll crowd it up way more than it already is. It'll probably increase the volume. It'll get louder.
Right. I'm going to assume. Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, things change, things come and go, but like we're going to talk about later on the discussion part. This edition, I could do without. Enchanted Rose, I get. They probably are just like, well, we need to alleviate some of the pressure from Enchanted Rose.
It could be that. I was thinking that could be part of it.
Yeah. And like the design from the concept art looks nice.
It looks like a classy bar.
It's small.
But at
It's
the
very
same
small.
time, I made videos about it from it. And not that it happens every single day, but there's already been lots of instances of bad guest behavior at both Disney World and Disneyland. A lot of it is, you can say alcohol was a contributing factor. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to get it because some people can't handle it. But having even more places to get it on property, I don't know if it's a great idea, especially like in the lobby of a hotel. But, I don't know.
So will the gingerbread house come back in 2026?
I mean, if you look at the concept art, I mean, it would make that whole area a lot more crowded.
So crowded.
It may not. They may just put it somewhere else permanently. Because if you look at that, I mean, it's just, if you be looking at a gingerbread house in here, plus the bar, plus everything else going on, that lobby would just be packed constantly.
I just never thought about putting a bar in there. That's just you know what I mean. That's an interesting choice. Like,
I mean, to me, I get pool bars. Obviously, got Enchanted Rose. Like, I feel like you could put another bar or something else that would serve alcohol, maybe not in the lobby directly, but
yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of even Polynesian. They've got Tambu that's upstairs
nearby.
Yeah, but that thing is always busy. Always busy.
It's going to be. That's
and
the
it's
thing.
in the corner.
Yeah, that's
this
the thing.
This is in the middle of the lobby.
I feel like if you find a place to put this not in directly in the lobby, it would help with crowds potentially. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Didn't they just redo the lobby not that long ago
they've
too?
They've been working on it on and off for they have.
That's what I like when I first heard that. I was like, I thought I just got done with a refurb there.
More coming. And Grand Floridian itself is still has scaffolding and stuff up. I mean, they're still working on it. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, new bar coming.
Yep.
No idea what it's going to be called though.
Birdcage bar.
They probably will call it the Birdcage or the Classy Bar. I don't know.
Or name it after a bird, like Sparrow Bar.
The Flamingo. They should call it the Pink Flamingo. Is what they should call it.
No, they should not. It sounds like nope. I don't like that.
We'll find a rare bird to name it after.
Like Dove, the Dove Bar.
The Dove Bar.
I don't know. I was trying to think of a classy bird.
Classy bird.
A classy bird.
Not a trash bird.
Well,
like those pigeons. They're
like a vulture is not a classy bird. It wouldn't say vulture bar. What about
that seems ominous. The pigeon.
The pigeon bar. No, I don't like that.
Anyways,
hummingbird bar.
The hummingbird
That'd be cute.
bar. I don't know. Well,
okay. Anyway,
we'll find a list of classy birds.
Yeah. So let's get your classy bird list going, and then we can figure out what would be appropriate.
I feel like people are gonna have these. They're just gonna know all these bird types and be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But if it sounds classy, they should go with it. I don't know. All right. Next story we have is there are even more discounts that have been announced for the Disney resorts. This one about hotels for Disney Plus subscribers.
Yeah, so the deal is, so it's valid for 2 nights of stay or longer. This offer goes from June 29th through July 31st, so basically a month. And rates start as low as $99 per night. So the $99 per night rate plus tax for standard rooms at All-Star Sports. You can do $169 for a Woods View room at Port Orleans Riverside. $229 a night at the Cars Family Suites at Art of Animation Resort. I'm going to go back to that one in a minute. Mm-hmm. $249 per night for the Deluxe Studios at Saratoga Springs Resort. And $339 per night for Savannah View rooms at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It says other discounted rates may be available. $229 per night for a family suite Cars is so cheap.
Also, when was the last time you saw under $100 for a hotel room at Disney property?
To be fair, it was last year.
Was it?
And it was like the last week of August. That's the only time I've ever seen it. But it dipped down below like $98 a night, and that was for like one night.
Right.
So it is possible, but this is for a whole month.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I mean, I think I will just go back to what I've said before. I think they clearly are looking at something they don't like in their bookings. Because obviously this is a way to try and bolster Disney Plus subscribers. So this is like a double purpose here.
Well, the list of discounts they're offering this summer is extensive.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just another one.
It's obviously the Epic Universe effect. And
you can't deny that's not it.
It's also interesting looking at it for 2 nights. So the discounts and stuff, the deals they ran a couple weeks ago, most of those were 3 nights or more. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe that was a way to try and get people to come over. Like, obviously, I think part of their strategy is to try and siphon days away from Universal for people coming in there. I'm wondering if people weren't biting on those deals as much because they were 3 days or more. And maybe, like I've said before, it's not that people may not be going to Disney, but they may not be going to Disney as many days. So if they're not if they're going already to Universal for 3, they may just be looking at Disney for 2 because most people on vacations, if you look just by the statistics of it, they go for 4 to 5 nights.
Yeah.
So most people don't have the budget or the time to expand for more days.
Right.
So if they're already fitting in, 2 or 3 days at Universal, those deals would just be like, well, we're not going to spend 6, days of our trip. So this is interesting given it's 2 nights trying to get people on those shorter stays. I think that is part of this.
Regardless, though, if you're going to Universal or any other place besides Disney, even if you're just going to Disney, like take advantage of this. Like if you're going in July, this is your deal.
Well, it's also interesting because if you look at the Universal hotels, they have gone up in price quite a bit just due to the demand over there. I mean, even the Stella Nova and Terra Luna near or Epic Universe, I think, are in like the 300s for June. So you could actually look
new
at
park. It makes
right.
sense.
So you could actually look at Disney, and they might actually come in cheaper on the hotels,
which is insane to say.
Which is interesting on that end.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at, I think they have their discounts on the tickets. But I think discounting the hotels is a good way to try and get people to come over. And I mean, again, $99 for it's All Stars and it's All Star Sports. But I mean, for 2 nights at $200, and you don't have any extra fees, so you don't have to worry about parking fees and stuff.
This is also trying to pull in more annual pass holders because they already have tickets. So
for sure,
if you're just wanting a room.
And it lends to, before they talk about half price on the down payment for annual pass holders. So it was what was it, $205?
Something like that.
Yeah, so now it's $99 for the down payment because I think part of their strategy is trying to get more annual pass holders.
Right.
Because once you become an annual pass holder, more than likely you're going to justify the expense of that by going at least a few times. Mm-hmm. So if you can get people on property cheaper. Like, I think these are things, obviously this only runs till the end of July.
Right.
So to me, that would lead something to thinking, oh man, we need more bookings in July here, more than likely.
Yeah.
If this extends to the fall, I think this will be a pretty decent indication of how much of a potential impact they're feeling from, maybe it's Epic Universe, maybe it's economics, whatever it is. Yeah. But obviously, like, if they're running even more deals throughout the year, that's also going to be pretty telling. But
yeah,
I mean, even if you're not a Disney Plus subscriber, I mean, you can do it for a month, get the hotel deal, and then dump it. I mean, if you didn't want,
you could.
Yeah. So, or sign. I would assume if you sign up for a free trial, it would still work. Because I think
so.
All they're going to look at is just that if you're a Disney Plus subscriber. I didn't see any of the fine print that said didn't apply for trials or something like that. So you could take advantage of it. I mean, like you were saying, that the Cars family suite for $229. What do those normally run? Like $500 something?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we gotta, let's see. Last time I stayed there was last March. It was during spring break, and we ended up getting a rate for, it was like $450, $460, but we split it among the 3 of us because it was my sister, my mom, and all the kids. And that was with a pass holder discount.
Yeah.
So with the pass holder discount, it was in the 4s. So this is even cheaper than that, and by a lot.
Yeah.
So that one really got me. Even the Savannah View Animal Kingdom Lodge one for $339, that's really, really good too. Because Savannah View, you're gonna pay a pretty penny for that. You know, if you pay through Disney and you don't do DVC or something like that. But like Standard View, you might get in the 300s, maybe for standard. But when you get to Savannah View, it goes up quite a bit. So anyway, this is available if you are a Disney Plus subscriber and going this summer.
Yes. We're looking to go, and the next story is maybe in the same line of this. VIP pass holder days. They say VI pass holder days, but it doesn't make any sense to me. VIP pass holder days are coming.
VIP pass holder.
Yeah, that gets you into some interesting word category or territory there. VIP pass holder days are coming to Disney World this summer.
Yep. So this is going to be from May 14th through July 31st. Again, another cutoff in July. And pass holders will enjoy an all-new magnet, limited time discounts, the return of the pass holder lounge, and more. Details are coming soon. Now, what did I say? What did I say what they would do if they were feeling the burn of maybe needing more bookings or less, less money coming in or whatever. What did I say they would do?
Well, I remember, but what?
Yeah, I said that they will run some kind of discount for pass holders. And it's usually a 30% off discount on merchandise. Now, if this is a limited time discount, it's 30% off merchandise, I'll be like, well, there it is.
Well, it's clear, though, as well, like if you look at Disney historically, anytime they need to bolster bookings, they lean on pass holders and things like this come into the mix. So Disney has this habit of anytime they need pass holders, they start throwing out a lot of pass holder perks.
Like, guys.
And when they feel like they don't need the pass holders as much, they just sort of forget about them. So I think they're getting in yet to another time period where they're like, hey, pass holders.
Hey.
We have stuff for you. Now, if they, I agree with you.
I'm not complaining. Bring it on.
if they do, well, it also makes sense if they're trying to get more annual pass holders.
Yeah.
Do more of those perks. If they run that 30% off discount, which I think is likely they may.
I think
that would be, yeah. I mean, I don't think these discounts necessarily stop here either. I think they could run more or extended ones as well. They may just be trying the spaghetti on the wall approach to see what seems to work.
Yep.
And then they find a little sliver of something. It's like, hey, people really like these hotel deals we did for Disney Plus subscribers. Do another iteration of that more toward the end of the summer, maybe into the fall. So that could be part of the thinking here, is just a shotgun approach of throwing out a bunch of stuff, see what bites, and then, expand or narrow it down from there.
Yeah.
But no details on what the pass holder lounge would be and all that stuff like that. But
they had it last year.
They did have it last year. But I do have a feeling you will see that a more of a pass holder discount.
Yeah. Yeah. Was the pass holder lounge at the Odyssey? Wasn't that where it was?
Was it the pass holder lounge or was that the Blue Shield thing? Remember the lounge they had? You had to get the pass. It was like Blue Cross, Blue Shield.
That wasn't the Odyssey.
Where was that? Oh, that was
at Restaurant Marrakesh.
Okay.
The Odyssey's at Epcot too.
I don't recall.
Was it at Odyssey? Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember now. I've forgotten. Anyway, I guess we'll see what happens.
Be something. Throw some perks out there.
Know.
So, yeah. So, all right. And the last story we have is the Skyliner will close for refurbishment in January 2026.
You don't think this is a big deal. This is a big deal. When you want to know when the Skyliner's closed, people will plan their trips around it.
Well, it's a nice perk. I'm also glad they do this because those things need to make sure they're working correctly. Because
Jared.
Being stuck in the air is nobody's idea of a good time.
So it is scheduled for January 25th through the 31st, 2026. And this is typically when they do a service. It's always the end of January.
Yeah.
Now, this past 2025 in January, they did not do it. They did a kind of intermittent closing of certain parts just for like a couple hours at a time, but never like a full week closure. So if you're coming in the end of January, plan accordingly. If you want to use the Skyliner, obviously move your dates, or if you have like Pop Century or Art of Animation or even Caribbean Beach or whatever, because of the Skyliner and you're coming during this time, maybe think twice, maybe change your hotel. I don't know. It's up to you, but you've got some time.
Yes.
And buses will be available if you decide to still come.
Magical buses.
Magical buses.
Nothing says magic like getting on a bus.
Well, we usually do one of our Club 32 meetups in January, and this would have been the same week, if we decide to do the same week again next year.
Right.
But now that I know this, a lot of our people like to stay at Pop Century. I probably will choose a different weekend.
Makes sense.
So it just makes it easier to.
It's a nice perk, especially for if you're in the value category of having that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, all right. Well, that's all the news that we have, but we'll get to our segment, which is Gone Not Forgotten Things and things that we wish would come back to Disney World, which we'll elaborate on some of these. And some of these I think have a better chance of coming back than others.
Right. And this is not a comprehensive list by any means. This is just what we were thinking, like, oh, we wish this would come back, or this is what we missed the most. There might be more things on here, but this is what we're
this is comprehensive. This is
not.
This is.
Don't you lie.
This is the list.
Don't you lie. It is.
I'm not lying. I think it's comprehensive.
Okay.
It is my opinion.
Thanks so much.
That it is comprehensive.
Thank you.
So we'll go general, and then we'll go like specific parks, and then resorts as well.
Okay.
So general speaking, the first one, which I think has a chance of coming back, is Magical Express.
Yeah.
I have said all along, I think this going away was a major mistake because it was the first foot in the Disney bubble. And now that Disney themselves are now talking about the importance of the Disney bubble, this
coming.
was your best asset you had. And we've already seen them bring back the luggage service. It's now at all the values. It's soon, I'm sure, to be all the resorts. That was also a part of this, which leads me to think that Magical Express may be coming back. Yeah. So
it's possible.
I've always felt that was one, even if you didn't use it, it was a great thing for families, especially with the small kids. You don't have to worry about how to get there. Like, it was a lot less stress on your trip. And yes, there were quicker ways to get to the parks, and a lot of people would just get an Uber, but at least you had a choice.
Uber's not magical.
It's not, well, but it's like, at least you had choices here. Like, if you decide you don't want to use it and you go on, whatever. But like, if it's there and you can utilize it, it makes your trip easier.
Sure.
That's just going to lend you to having a better trip. Starting out, as soon as you land, you're like, oh, we're kind of already on vacation. And that was the best thing. When we used it, it was like you landed and you were like, oh, okay. And you just go down there and it's like you didn't have to stress.
Yep.
And I think that is something that I think they was just spreadsheet management. They just
it's like bus rider, take me to my hotel.
Right.
You know, I'm here.
But that is one definitely wish would come back.
Magic Band included with your stay.
Just bring it back.
I don't know if they will, because now Magic Bands are like, what, $50?
Yes.
Like they're pricey. So to give a family of 4 free Magic Bands, that's $200 they would be missing.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't know.
But again, how much of this stuff is like how you feel about your trip? A lot of people, your Magic Bands will show up, what, 2 weeks before your trip started?
Roughly.
So it was almost like your trip almost started. It was like, oh, we got him. Like, that's anticipation. A lot of these things have been taken away.
Yeah.
And of that, like, how many more people just buy extra stuff because of the Magic Bands they have? They just charge it to the Magic Band and go on.
Yeah.
Some of these things, it's actually kind of smart. Like, you can have your base level ones that are free, and then if you want the special ones like they used to do, those are more money. But at least have the option to have a basic one for free. Because more than likely, you're going to make money off those people anyways. And how much those things cost them per item? I'm going to guess very cheap.
Well, I think like the very, very basic ones are like $35. You know, again, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's the, you know, ever since they moved to Magic Band Plus, they haven't offered that for free. Magic Band 2, they did.
Well, I'm sure they look at just having you can use your phone to do a lot of stuff now. They would probably justify it, but
for sure,
that is something I think was a nice perk, something that you felt like you were getting with your trip.
Yeah.
Next one is, and we never got to experience this one, was Tables in Wonderland. Yeah.
So this was the perk. Well, it was a service where you were pay. I don't know what the price was. I want to say it was $175. Is that right? 180,
somewhere around there, I think.
Okay, so you would pay the special like service. Basically, you get 20% off of select dining
and alcohol
at some Disney World restaurants, and they no longer offer this. I mean, they had a little card and everything.
This is one of the COVID casualties. It just never came back.
I think it also offered valet.
I think it did as well.
Yeah. So like really cool system, really cool to be able to try more dining and not pay so much. We actually were talking about doing this before we moved to Florida. And then we moved and then the world shut down and then this did never come back. So it was like, well, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're wanting to book your restaurants, get more people to eat, like this is something a lot of people I think would do. Well,
and it was exclusive to like Florida residents, DVC members, and
APs.
APs was it?
I believe.
Okay.
I think you had to fall into those categories to get it.
It was originally just for Florida residents, and then they expanded it a little bit. So it was just kind of a cool perk, but maybe we'll get it back. Maybe we won't.
Yes. I mean, again, having the option to have it, although if it came back, it's going to be more expensive. But
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next one, I don't think this will happen. But this is something that would be nice to come back was the, free skip the line system, Fast Pass Plus. I think the closest you would ever get to this coming back, because I think Disney, if you're looking at like, say, if they're looking at a situation where Epic Universe is going to hit their attendance, Disney can, obviously they're running discounts because we just talked about them. They're running discounts. But the other card they have left to play are perks that they have taken away they could bring back to add more value.
Yep.
One of which would be, now I don't think they're going to go back to a Fast Pass Plus system just because at this point they made over $1 billion introducing Genie Plus and Lightning Lane. So even if my argument would be a lot of that money is just from the right pocket to the left pocket, because I don't think people are necessarily spending more money on their trips, but people have budgets regardless. So they're spending money on this and just maybe not eating out or buying merchandise or whatever it is. But what they could do is maybe if you're staying at a deluxe hotel or something like that, they throw in Lightning Lane MultiPass with your stay. Something like very similar to what Universal does at some of their hotels for Express Pass. I think that would be a perk that would help with their bookings, and a lot of people would be somewhat happy with that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they would run that out to all resort guests, if I were to guess. They could, but I think that is if you're talking about the most likely scenario with a reiteration of FastPass Plus comes back, I think it would be that type of thing.
Yeah.
And not like Premier Pass and stuff like that. I think it would just be, and not the single passes. It would just be for the multi-pass.
I miss the rush at park opening to the kiosks to get your paper.
Oh, the old school ones? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Those were the good old days.
The next one is extra magic hours at night for hotel guests. Now I realize that we do have extended evening hours. That is just for deluxe and DVC, and it's only on Mondays and Wednesdays. That's fair. I am talking about sometimes it was 3 hours at night. Parks open till like 1 a.m.
Yep.
for all hotel guests.
Yep.
I don't see this coming back though, because now we have after hours events where you have to pay.
Right.
So I don't think that we're gonna get those back as it was, but man, those were the coolest. Those are the coolest nights.
It was some of the most fun because
gosh.
it had a different feel in the park. And I love theme parks at nights too. So
yeah,
I agree. I don't know if that one will ever come back, but that would be a great perk to staying on property.
I mean, I remember in the summer, sometimes the park would be open if it was a hot day or it was a busy time in the summer, like maybe around the 4th of July, they would be open till like 3 a.m. Easy. And that you just don't see that anymore. So
yeah. I mean, it'd be a great way if you want to boost your hotel bookings. Do stuff like this. Like make it where it becomes a no-brainer to stay on property. Even if you are paying a little bit more, you're like, well, we get to do X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
I think it would be good. Yep. Well, and the next one would go into similar, which would be the park staying open later in general.
Yes.
I think that, especially in the summer when it's hot, like that would be a great thing to, I love theme parks at night. Like being able to be in a park until close to midnight maybe would be awesome.
Well, they are, I don't know if you've noticed this, they are getting better.
Slowly
Being open longer, like as the crowds have kind of come back from everything. So I do appreciate that, but it's still not like it was 2019.
No.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
This one I put specifically because I do remember how this was. Experiencing the park's pre-smartphone era. This is the era where you didn't have camera phones, or maybe you did, but they were really, really crappy. Like the flip phones. They didn't have
You mean the Razor pictures?
The Razors or even Nokia. I don't know.
Check out my grainy picture of the castle.
Isn't
that awesome?
For real. So it was very much like, disposable cameras, or like maybe you had your own camera, but like it took like film and everything. I'm talking those where you weren't on your phone all day. It was just like, go grab your fast pass, even if that even existed back then, and just enjoy the time. Take pictures occasionally, be like in the moment. So I do miss that aspect of a Disney vacation, because it's right now, it's so much to take a Disney vacation. There's so many bits and pieces involved in planning and executing a successful vacation. Especially if you're a planner.
That requires your phone.
And you need your phone. You need have done all this research. You can't just go in blind and expect everything to be great. Now with Premier Pass now, that's a little bit easier. Like if you know Premier Pass, you're like, it's available. Okay, fine. You'll be much better. But there's just so much to do with technology now that it just doesn't lend itself to be on the fly as much and as easy going, at least if you do it the traditional sense. If you're going just to have fun with your friends and drink around the world, that's different.
Yeah.
I think it's different.
I don't know the solution. I think a decoupling away from requiring you to be on your phone so much on your trip would be really good for the guest experience. Mm-hmm. And, things come in, what do we say about history? Things just repeat.
Cycle.
I think there will be a resurgence, especially you talk about like Gen Z, some of the younger ones, and even myself. Like I'm old enough to remember a time before cell phones were part of everyday life.
Yeah.
Where I think there will be this resurgence of people wanting to become more just connected to other people, not as much on their phones. And so I am curious, like if that becomes a big trend, and there are a lot of people that have switched back to just go to, I guess you just call them dumb phones, to just have a basic phone around you. And I find myself a lot on trips trying to not be on my phone as much. Like, you don't have to take a picture of everything you see. And I get like if you're Instagram and all this stuff, but I do wonder if that trend comes back, like how in ways would Disney make it simpler to enjoy vacation that doesn't require you to be on your phone like every moment of the day stressing about getting a reservation for this or something like that, and just have a more relaxed day. I think that is something that would be very helpful for them.
I think so too.
To really being like, I enjoyed my vacation, not like I need a vacation from my vacation, because my vacation was insanely stressful. And I think that is a real thing. Then we talk about coming back, people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
This is also sometimes why people are pushed more to Disney Cruise Line. Yeah. Because it's a Disney vacation just without the stress.
Legitimately, this is why I love competition. I do think that's why a lot of people have gone to Universal a lot more, is because you don't have to be on your phone as much. It's still what you can just show up and go. You have that aspect available. And I know Disney and Universal are not the same size. It's not as complex, but on some level, the more your parks grow and things, it does require more systems in place, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be something that would be nice
for sure
to get back to. But I've talked about this many times. Delivery of purchases to your resort that you buy in the parks. I don't know why this ever was taken away. I don't know why it still hasn't come back, because I feel like this one, as much as Disney likes to make money, this is directly costing them money.
You would make more money, Disney, if you offered this back.
Well, because how many people are in the parks and they go, and I've heard this from multiple people, go, well, I don't want to carry it around all day.
Right.
And how much of retail is impulse buying?
Right.
So then that person goes, oh, I'll get it when we go to leave. And either they forget, or while they're in the park, they're like, I don't really need, I don't need that. I don't need to spend $50 on that.
Right.
So you're just basically making it where people don't buy as much stuff.
So I think so.
Whatever the cost would go in to do this, I feel like you're going to make more money by having this. I've never understood why this never came back.
I don't know.
And also blasting AC. I think this is something
yes.
I feel like this is something that I can tell ever since, like, especially 2019. You used to go into buildings and it was like,
it was frigid.
It was like a freezer. And you would feel it like outside too, like on Main Street sometimes.
Oh my gosh, it was the best.
And I did notice under Chapek, it was like, they didn't, like, you could tell the buildings were not they were not as cool as they used to be.
Oh, for sure. Like, you would be inside like a random gift shop and you'd be like, why is it humid in here?
Yeah.
Like, we are inside. This is no.
I remember it. Remember they used to have at the Food and Wine, what was the building?
The World Show Place?
Yes. It was all inside there.
Yeah.
And I remember going in there and it was humid in there.
It was actually, it felt weird.
And it was like,
gross.
Why is it like not that you were sweating, but like it was set to like 80 degrees in there.
Yeah.
And years before,
it was like summer too.
Yeah, it was middle of summer. Yeah. And years before, you had been cold leaving there. I mean, having AC blown on you from time to time on a really hot day in Florida is kind of nice.
Yes.
Instead of just sweating profusely all day long.
I mean, that's what you went into shops to do, to get a little break from the heat. Like,
yes,
it's just getting hotter.
I would also imagine if people were cooler in a retail setting, they would potentially buy more.
They would spend more time shopping.
I have nothing to back up my claim here other than just intuition.
Do you think here's just playing devil's advocate here. Do you think that when they reopened the parks and there wasn't as many people going and like it slowly kind of built back up, do you think they kept the air like hotter to keep people from being inside? Like, 6 feet away, whole distancing stuff. Do you think they were like, oh, we don't want people to stay inside?
I think it was just a cost thing.
It could be.
I think they literally looked at it and said if we could reduce our energy cost by X
under the guise of COVID.
I mean, it could be. Yeah. That could have been a side thing of like, well, we don't want people congregating because it's hot. Yeah. But I think clearly it was just a way to cut cost.
Yeah. I haven't noticed it as much lately, but I still do notice it.
I mean, obviously, I didn't have a thermometer going into each shop to know, but it's just something I can feel, like I can just tell
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, I'm like, I remember when it was like an ice box in here.
Yep.
And now it's like kind of cooled down
Yep.
a little bit.
Yep.
But, all right, let's move on to specific parks. Let's talk
Okay.
about Magic Kingdom.
I miss the trees and the hub.
I do miss a lot of nature and trees and ambiance in general.
Yep. I have pictures from when I was a kid, like early 90s. You can see the trees. There's so many. Now, obviously they did this because of fireworks, of the view of the castle, because when the park was built, like the trees were tiny. And they just grew and grew and grew. And by, the 2000, when did they clear those? Like 2012, 15? Like it wasn't that long ago.
Probably somewhere
They
around
redid the hub a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just I miss all of that. So that's just me.
Maybe it's me getting older, but I appreciate more shade, nature, peaceful, like where you can just sit down and relax.
Yep.
I think those are very important parts of theme parks that have been taken away over the years just to make room for more people and more things to do. And while obviously more attractions is fun, at the same time, I do think these types of settings are important. And for a large group of people that come, if you think about most people that are paying to go to Disney trips, a lot of it is going to be grandparents that sometimes just want to sit down and relax somewhere.
Yep.
And these are becoming less and less of a thing to be able to just get some shade and just not be go, go, go all the time.
On that note, bring back more benches. Put more benches out there. Do this in Disneyland too. Disneyland, they took out a lot of them just because it was so crowded all the time.
Well, they do have
bring it back.
Narrow walkways out there.
I get it.
But yes. No, seating and shade. I agree with that.
Yep.
One thing, I wonder if they bring this back. Remember when Mickey used to talk?
Talking Mickey. I remember.
Because I remember our daughter had the interaction. It was like really good. And I never understood why they got rid of it. It worked fine. And it's a simple technology. Just as somebody with an iPad that just pushes some buttons.
I don't know.
I do wonder if Disney brings it back because of so many of the meet and greets with Epic Universe that are going on that are voice related and like interactive more.
Maybe.
They could bring that back.
Speaking of Mickey, I miss Mickey's Toontown. I miss Toontown.
I don't remember much about Toontown.
I do. It was so cool. Like to go into where Mickey and Minnie supposedly live, like their houses. What the coolest thing ever. Like, oh my gosh. Like, let's bring that back. Put Mickey back in there. Put Minnie back in there. Like, come on, guys. Storybook Circus, really?
That's the thing too. You replaced it with Storybook. Let's be honest. Storybook Circus. I'm not a fan of a circus in general.
Yeah.
And it's just a very much like, I think Toontown would make way more sense in there than Storybook Circus.
Agree. What about okay, so I haven't seen this, and I think it's missing because we don't stay at Magic Kingdom very often after park closing, so I don't know if they do this anymore. I don't think they do. But the Kiss Goodnight.
I don't know if they do this or not anymore, but it was always a kind of a cool thing they would do.
It's just like a little message about half an hour after the park closed. It's like, well, thank you for joining us, blah blah blah. And it was some, I think Mickey spoke to, and like it was sweet.
It was a nice way when the cast members would just be like, "No, God, leave now! Like get out of here!
Get out of here!"
It was a nice way to just say, "You're no longer welcome."
Yeah. So if they do this still, let me know because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, I will let you know.
Yeah.
I would say, well, never going to happen. But personally speaking, I would like if Splash Mountain was still there. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Splash Mountain as a ride better than Tiana's, and Tiana's has a lot of issues. But I think for me, it's the nostalgia of just like the 90s Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like you had the Walt era and then you had the Eisner era. And I feel like that Splash Mountain, it was such a popular attraction to begin with. But I liked Splash Mountain a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is a nostalgia thing too. Like I remember riding as a kid and riding as an adult, and I loved it. And while like Tiana's is great, and like,
is it great though?
I mean, I think it's pretty. It's good. It's great. I mean, they did shoehorn into an existing ride, so like you kind of have to think about that. But I don't have any nostalgia toward Princess and the Frog.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was already a full blown adult. How old was I? 25? Yeah, I was 25 when it came out. So like I don't have any like childhood nostalgia from that. That's where Splash Mountain is. So like, you know, it makes more sense for you know, nostalgia wise to want to bring the Splash back, but
yeah,
will never happen.
It
We'll
won't-
have to go to where is it? Hong Kong?
they have it in Tokyo Disneyland.
Tokyo. Okay.
Yeah.
Also things from my childhood. Main Street Electrical Parade, even Spectra Magic. Now, the caveat of this is we are getting a new nighttime parade, so I can't really like say like, oh, I wish they would bring you know it back, and we're not getting it. Well, we are kind of getting it. It's just a little different, and maybe I'll like this one better. So,
Yeah,
that's a positive right there.
yeah. I don't know if this is one I would want back or not, but remember they used to sell McDonald's French fries in Disney World.
Yes.
But my question is, would it be better to have McDonald's French fries, or would it be better to have like really good fries you develop on your own, like
McDonald's French fries.
Okay. Well, I will say
McDonald's fries are so good.
McDonald's French fries, fresh and actually cooked properly, are still
So
the best
good.
French fries out there.
I remember just going. Yeah.
But they're terrible reheated, or if they're not cooked correctly, they're not very good. But like hot,
Right.
fresh, done correctly, McDonald's French fries are still goated.
You just absolutely. You just walk down Frontierland. You turn left right at the end of Pecos Bills, and it was a little cart thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Although now
oh,
you just order from a kiosk like they do at the other
Probably,
ones. They get your order wrong. Like it's the McDonald's experience. You're like, I don't
Yeah.
want it here. Although I will say, for those who may not know about this, the best combo ever is actually good McDonald's French fries and sweet and sour sauce.
okay,
It is an amazing combo.
divine. Okay,
The best. And sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's is the best sweet and sour sauce ever. And maybe
I agree with
because I
that.
had it from my childhood.
It's probably yeah.
Anytime you guys go, I'm always like, get a bunch of sweet and sour sauce
Sweet and sour.
because I use it on like
Everything
stuff I make. I'll be like, I'll just use it with like this chicken stuff I have at home. It's great.
Yeah. One thing that I miss is Pirates League. That was the thing where you could dress up as like a pirate or a mermaid, like for kids.
Yeah.
This whole thing about it, and they don't offer that anymore. They have the pirate adventure, that little scavenger hunt. They do have that in Adventureland, but
Yeah.
they don't have the pirates.
Pirate
anymore.
stuff's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
And they also have so Liberty Tree Tavern still there, still like is it a prefix menu still, right?
Pretty
Or
sure.
family style? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so they have that. So it used to be character dining. Did you know that?
I never ate there when it was.
Well, it was back. I think they stopped in early 2000s, maybe earlier than that. It was Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and Chippendale dressed in colonial outfits.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
So that is something I don't remember ever doing, but when I was looking at stuff that used to be Magic Kingdom just to refresh my memory, I was like, this is a thing? So
Although it would cost probably like $100 per person.
probably.
'Cause I think it's already like 60 something per person.
Is
there
it?
or something? Maybe
Well.
it's in the 50s. I don't know. Maybe it's
Well.
actually less than that. It's been a couple years since we've eaten there.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing on the
But
price here.
anyway, yeah. So that would be cool to have again. So
Yes. Agreed. All right, let's move on to Epcot.
okay.
I can tell you right now, I don't know why they got rid of it. I will never understand it. But the Fountain of Nations was awesome. Bodies of water are great.
Gosh, I love Fountain.
And the Fountain of Nations was awesome. And I
love
used to
that.
love when Epcot was symmetrical from
Yeah.
above. It bugs me to no end how Epcot is no longer symmetrical.
Yep.
Drives me crazy.
Yep. It is interesting.
And like what
It's just
replaced it is just
interesting.
like to me I'm just like you can do the overhaul, but like a fountain there would have been great.
It would have been really cool.
I just don't understand. I get
Disney
it.
doesn't like water.
They do not like water.
They don't like
I mean,
water.
I think they look at water as an expense that
Yep.
doesn't bring in money,
Yep.
and they just like get rid of it for maintenance.
But you know how soothing it is to hear rushing water?
It does have a soothing effect. And
Yeah.
honestly speaking, this may sound like you're getting into the weeds, but as many in the last few years, the amount of fights we have seen happen in Disney parks, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen in other theme parks, but having calming, soothing, relaxing, tranquil areas of a theme park, I would assume would help overall sentiment and people like feeling a little bit more chilled out. Because I think a lot
Yeah.
of I don't think it's not nothing in that there is so much pressure on a Disney vacation it puts you in this mindset of almost like, I don't know if it's fight or flight, but it's just very much like you're just on the edge.
Yeah.
And then some little thing happens and people, whatever reason, someone snaps and they start fighting with people because of a picture. You're like, this is crazy, but it's like how much of this could be potentially, alleviated or avoided if you just had more peaceful surroundings. I mean, there's studies out there showing like being near bodies of water is peaceful. It makes you feel more relaxed, less anxious. Things like that. I mean, you talk about urban architecture. They've talked about this endlessly, how architecture in of itself many times can lead people to feel more anxious.
Yeah.
Just like your surroundings. Like, I think it's more than just a look. I actually think it helps with the overall park experience.
Yeah.
So I have my reasons.
Yes. I also miss Wonders of Life Pavilion. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything.
Just sitting there.
I think they gutted it.
Every once in a while they walk around it and people are like, are they going to do something with
what's
it?
going
like,
on?
No,
nothing.
They're just looking at it.
It was supposed to be that play pavilion.
Yeah.
And the plans for the overhaul of Epcot, but it never happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with it, but hopefully something. As well as Horizons. Can we get Horizons?
Okay, I was going to talk about this. So I actually think what could become a new trend in theme parks is retro rides coming back that have like...
That would be so great.
Because if you look at it, we've talked... Your favorite movie is Back to the Future.
Absolutely.
I have talked about it for months about how if it... I feel like perhaps Universal Studios could bring Back to the Future back or another, nostalgic IP as an attraction, which would be out of the box thinking because you think of most current IPs to do this stuff. But Universal announced a UK park they're doing, and they have a Back to the Future land in there.
I'm baffled by that.
Apparently, it has a big following over there because of the musical.
Yeah.
From what I've been told. So bring Horizons back. I mean, Mission Space, let's just be honest, it's not great.
It's not great.
It's never been a big hit. They took away Gary Sinise. That was the final nail in the coffin to begin with.
Jared.
I would defend the ride if Gary Sinise was still there, but you took Gary Sinise out, and your mission's doomed. So, therefore, bring back I think if you brought back Horizons or some nostalgic IP, I think the fan base would go crazy for it.
Yeah.
So
That'd
bring
be
it back.
so good.
And it would fit old school Epcot. Like
yeah.
I do miss old school Epcot's vibe and overall theme.
Yeah, and like there's stuff like the original Figment ride, like that kind of thing, which I don't really care about as much. But I remember during Food and Wine Festival, they used to offer like seminars and cooking demonstrations and all that stuff. And Party for the Senses, they had that too. But also they had a tasting sampler.
Yep.
You could buy a tasting sampler for, I can't remember the amount or how much it was even, but it was so good. You just, I don't know if you scan it. I can't remember exactly, but it was great. Just pay a full flat fee and then you get so many credits or whatever per dish.
Yeah. Remember they had
great.
Kelly Kapowski had a seminar for cooking?
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
I'm just saying, you used to have cool things going on.
Yes. So yeah, if we could bring back stuff about the festivals that are gone, that would be good too.
Agreed. I think that would be a great addition to have that. I think that's all I got for Epcot.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's of course more that's gone, but that's just kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah, my wish list would be make it symmetrical again.
Yeah.
But if I had one critique, I would save the new stuff. I mean, you're not going to redo those buildings, but can we get some shade over the Communicore Plaza area? People that designed this area in California and don't understand Florida heat.
They've added some.
I'm talking an actual overhead structure that is actually a closure where you can actually just be in the shade when it's like blazing hot in the middle of like August.
Yeah. I love some shade.
I think that would be great. And maybe make it retractable where at nighttime it can open up.
Hey, that's an idea.
Just saying. I think it would be useful.
Idea.
But, all right, let's move on to Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
What's the first one you got?
The Great Movie Ride. Now, I do like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to get rid of that. But I also want Great Movie Ride back. So
like a newer iteration.
Let's make that happen. Just kidding. I just,
featuring
Snow
White.
Ooh, no. Right now, maybe not, but yeah, it was one of my favorite rides. So I was sad to see it go, but I like what replaced it. So I like both. I like both.
Yeah, I think at one point in time when this initially was announced, I'm going to talk about it's the Osborne Family Lights at Christmas time.
Oh yes.
When Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was first announced, I was like, you know what? I want a Star Wars land. Like, okay, Osborne Lights have to go away. Like, that's a small price to pay. After seeing Galaxy's Edge and being with that land for, not with it, but being around it, having experienced it for years, I think it's a giant swing and a miss. I've said this for a long time. I want the redo on the trade. Can we have Osborne Lights back? If that means we sacrifice Galaxy's Edge, hey, you need to come back to the table with a better idea. If it's either or,
Jared's like, I'm okay with that.
I want the Osborne Lights back because they're actually in Silver Dollar City now for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we've experienced them there, and it's so great around Christmas time. It's such
good.
And I remember seeing them at Disney World, and it was just such a unique thing. So
yeah,
I'm okay with that trade back.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the drawing table on a proper Star Wars land that doesn't just include the newer, worser trilogy. And I know I said worser, but I'm going to use that word.
On the same vein of the Osborne Family Lights, bring back the Backlot Tour and Streets of America, which obviously are gone completely. And
right.
But I do miss those. I do miss those two things.
I don't think the Osborne family has a patent on Christmas lights. Like, bring back something in the vein of that.
Or just more lights.
Yeah, like, I think you could do this. I think it could be your own little thing of it. But, yeah, I do miss it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
And Streetmosphere. Can we bring back the citizens of Hollywood and all those? Like, I think Streetmosphere has so been utterly lacking in all theme parks.
It's so easy to do.
Well,
right?
It is.
Yes, I know you have to pay that.
Right. I think that's the whole thing. But yeah, it adds such a unique personality to stuff, and it makes it fun. And
it makes it feel like alive. It makes it feel like you're like, oh, we're in Hollywood, or we're on Sunset Boulevard, or like it's just lively and everything. It's great.
Yeah.
I forgot their names now, but dang, so cool.
I agree.
Yeah. The animation tour. Used to be in the animation building.
That's
that's gone, but that was great. You could tour. You could see.
That's where Launch Bay is, right?
Yeah.
I'm also okay with trading that out too. Let's just hard reset on all Star Wars. Leave Star Tours.
Can you tell Jared's not a fan of Star Wars right now?
No. I am a fan of Star Wars. I'm not a fan of what Disney's done with it, or what it's been done in the parks. I'm just saying, you bring these things back. Go back to the drawing board with a proper Star Wars land and try again. But I think the animation experience was a really cool thing that you could go in and do. Because like those animation experiences are always something people enjoy. Like they bring it back to like when they do the festivals over at Animal Kingdom. But it was a really cool thing of going in there and actually like, being in an animation studio.
Yeah.
And being able to do that.
Yep.
And our daughter would love it.
Yes, she would. Speaking of our children, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground.
Granted, our kids would have no idea about that.
Right. But it was the fact that everything was huge.
Right.
Like tiny, like the size of ants and this little playground area. Now, the only thing I remember about it being like, I did kind of get lost in there one time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a hard time like finding my parents because everything was very tall and it was, whatever. But it was a place for kids to play,
By the way, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, those movies hold up? I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time. Because there's like Mighty Ducks did not hold up well as an adult.
I do like Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Oh, isn't the baby got big, right?
Yes.
Not actually blew up the kid.
I'm sorry, Mama. I fix it.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I fix it.
Or just a play area for kids in general. It doesn't have to be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay.
But Jamie wants Honey, I Shrunk
fair
the
enough.
Kids.
Fair enough.
No, agreed.
Fair enough. That's all I got for Hollywood Studios. I don't know if you have any more.
My main thing at Hollywood Studios would be Galaxy's Edge and Streetmosphere.
Yeah.
And can we get rid of all the dead ends there while we're at it?
Dead end.
Can we just make it more like flow?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
If we're having a wish list.
Is your wish list? Sure.
All right, let's move on to Animal Kingdom.
There's not much in Animal Kingdom I could think of.
Well, that's a newer one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I would like to see the original Safari storyline. I've heard about it.
With the poachers?
Yeah.
Poaching the elephants. So it was kind of not like it was scary, but like it was at least like a story to follow.
Right.
So, or bring back some kind of story. That doesn't have to be about poaching.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would like that.
Agreed.
I like to learn on those safaris, but I also like to be entertained.
True.
So.
Also, didn't they you could ride in the waterways? Didn't they used to have a boat ride you could do?
Oh, Discover. Discovery boats.
I think so.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah, I never got to do those. Bring those back.
Those did not last very long. I don't even remember doing them. So, and I went like the year it opened. So
get an Australian guy and be like, we're exploring the outdoors or something.
Okay.
And he catches a crocodile in the water. And you're like, this is awesome.
Now I do remember watching Tarzan Rocks.
I don't recall that at all.
It's where Finding Nemo is now.
Oh.
Used to be in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember very, very vividly. I do remember it, but it was just another thing for kids, you know?
Yeah.
Kid-centric thing, and it's like a musical.
I think
it's very 90s.
Yeah. I have nothing to add on this because I don't have much about Animal Kingdom, but I think in the future, people will say Dinosaur the Ride. They will want that back.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's still here, but yeah.
I'm just like, once it's gone.
Once it's gone.
They will want it back.
Yes.
Dino Land, I don't know about as a whole. I've never been a huge fan of Dino Land.
Dino DNA. Oh, sorry. That's wrong park.
Well, sure. Similar topic. But
yeah.
You got nothing else about Animal Kingdom?
I don't. I can't remember any. Again, like, Animal Kingdom hasn't changed a ton since it opened. Like, you had Pandora go in, you know, got rid of that whole.
I would say, as a whole, bringing back Pandora at night.
Well, let's extend the hours.
Right. Like that park, that
moving.
land at night specifically is so cool. And I think it's one of the best features of it that's basically non-existent most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I have for Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
I think. But all right, let's move on to resorts.
Okay.
I never got to try Trattoria Al Forno. Is that how you say that?
Uh-huh.
With the Bon Voyage breakfast?
Yeah,
I always heard really good things about it.
Me neither. OMG. This was the character breakfast with Rapunzel and Flynn and Ariel and Eric.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I can't. I'm just so mad that it's not back because I really want to do it.
Yeah.
I want to do it before, and we just never got a chance to. We're like, oh, we'll wait till our kids can do it. Well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So now it's gone. I really don't know if they'll ever bring it back. They still serve breakfast, just not this offering.
At this point, they probably won't.
Yeah. So I wish they'd bring it back, but whatever. It's okay. And also, even though, okay, I do love Steakhouse 71, but I also really like the Wave at Contemporary.
I like Steakhouse 71 more than the Wave.
I like it. Well, okay. But I mean, I like it both, and it was fine. Like, just update the menu. Why change the restaurant? You know.
I like the Steakhouse 71 vibe and feel better than the Wave. Although they did keep some of the breakfast items. The Wave was always my favorite for breakfast.
Yeah.
But you remember when they were for a little bit there, they had the Wave. You could get the breakfast and the pricing while sitting in California Grill.
Yes. They served it upstairs.
We did that one time.
Yeah.
So you could still have a pretty decently priced meal.
It was so cheap.
Yeah.
That was during the day. So it was like you could still get the views and everything, but it wasn't like any fireworks or anything. But yeah, that was cool. I do remember that. I miss the old Polynesian fountain.
Yeah.
The little statue guy.
I think that, yeah.
Let's get that bigger. But I understand why they did that because it was very big and it took up a lot of space, and now it's a lot easier to walk through it. I get it.
It's also the ongoing war against water.
Again, less fountains, less water.
I think Disney saw Waterworld and they're like, not on our watch. It's getting rid of all of it. I don't want Kevin Costner out here causing havoc on the waterways, which is a legitimate concern, I suppose.
Yeah.
One thing I don't miss, and I don't want to come back, is the clown pool at the boardwalk.
Oh, you don't want that.
Clowns are terrible. Why would anybody want a clown?
That was a scary face.
Slide out of a clown's face.
I do.
Why?
Spit it out.
Like,
Kids,
I'm not scared of clowns. I don't understand how they were ever entertainment. Like, they just seem creepy and weird to me.
Different time, my friend. Different time.
I mean, you did have a lack of entertainment options.
I mean, you can also blame Stephen King for making him scary.
I do blame him and what's his face, the serial killer that dressed as a clown. I think they ruined it for clowns in general.
Who was that one?
I think it was Gacy.
Oh,
whatever it was.
Okay.
But either way, even with those withstanding, again, I don't find clowns scary. I just don't get how like a grown man or woman in clown makeup becomes comedy. I've just never, and like mimes. I never understood. But yeah, I'm glad that the clown pool is gone.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I don't think they'll ever bring it back. It's okay.
I think it's gone, hopefully for good.
Yeah. And I can't think of anything other resort stuff. Like Shutters. I think Shutters was at, was that Port Orleans or was that Kirby Beach? I'm getting mixed up in my brain. It was a terrible restaurant, so I don't want that back.
I don't recall that.
I don't remember. Again, sometimes my brain fails me because it's been so long.
I do wish like Crew Cup Lounge at Yacht Club was how it used to be.
Oh,
It's kind of like its own little thing, and then you could get kind of a cheap burger. They would use the scraps from Yachtsman to make like steak burgers in there.
Yeah.
It was a cool atmosphere. I don't know. I haven't been in there in years.
Or
But,
bring back Twilight Feast at Polynesian if
that
you were
is
a
one
guest.
I wanted to do that for so long. Yeah, you could get it in your room, like the Ohana meal.
Yeah.
Although Ohana has fallen off. Ohana goes through weird. It gets bad and then it gets better and then it goes back to bad. It goes through these cycles. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have not heard the best reviews of Ohana lately.
Last time we ate there, I wasn't super happy.
Yeah.
And for as much money as you're spending now to eat there, it's just like, okay.
I know. My sister's like, where should we eat when they come in June? She's like, maybe Ohana. I was like,
well, here's the thing.
I was like, can we go
But
somewhere
now
else?
up at Tambu Lounge, you can get a lot of the items that you find Ohana as a side. Like you can get the bread pudding. You can get a lot of stuff that's like way cheap. You could just get the bread pudding for like, what is it, like $10 or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like you can get some of this stuff where it's just like you don't have to spend, 4 people eating is over $100. You can just go get a couple of items and enjoy it.
4 people eating is like $250.
That's true. That's insane.
Not 100, 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'm being silly. I forgot about that. That's very true. Yeah.
Jared's the 1990s pricing.
I wish. I do wish.
You're gonna be that old man who's like, how much is that?
I'm that.
What?
I'm that now.
Yeah, you're like that now.
People look at it and tell me prices, and I'm like, that is the funniest thing I've heard all day, and I just leave. I'm like,
oh, you're funny.
listen, I'm price conscious. Okay.
You are.
I can't think of anything else for the resorts.
I can't either right now.
I guess we could
there's
talk
more.
about Disney Springs, but I kind of miss the old school like Downton Disney feel.
Downton Disney. Pleasure Island. Never got to do that really. Kind of did, but I was a kid, so.
I never attended Pleasure Island.
Adventures Club. That
I
was
feel
part
like
of it. That was in there.
I feel like Downton Disney had more of a like, it had a different feel that I kind of enjoyed more.
Edgy.
I don't know if edgy is the word. Now it just feels like at a glorified shopping mall.
Yeah.
Whereas before it kind of felt like something different.
Well, Town Center, like, yeah, there's some of the stores they brought in that it feels very like outlet mall.
Absolutely.
They still have some of the original stores. I mean, they still have the marketplace area. So I mean, like, there are pockets here and there where you're like, okay, this feels Disney. But there's a lot of it that's like, okay, are we in a shopping mall?
I feel like Earl of Sandwich. I think that place suffered the most from the redo because I feel like all the foot traffic used to go there because it was always pretty decently priced sandwiches. That was like right when you showed up, it was right there.
Right.
And now it's way further in for most
Yeah.
people. I would imagine their sales took a hit when they redid everything. Maybe I'm wrong,
Right.
but
I mean, I don't miss Disney Quest. I didn't care for that at all. So I wasn't sad when it went away.
honestly, though, Disney Quest makes way more sense than what they've been. I mean, the NBA experience
Sure.
lasted 3 days, and then you had whatever's going in there now, which is like some sort of
escape room
thing.
Yeah.
I think Disney Quest, like an updated Disney Quest, would be a lot of fun.
I guess not as it was though, because I didn't care.
Well, you could update it, but again, it's a place that kids could go do stuff.
I don't want it.
Well, I'm talking. I do,
Fine.
and our children would enjoy it.
Okay. Well, I'm
So
just
you
saying.
could sit outside.
But this is our opinions, and
I
I
know
don't
that's what I'm
miss
saying.
it.
I know. I'm just saying you don't. I'm saying I think that would be a cool thing.
Okay, babe.
And more. I mean, if we're being honest, Disney Springs is not the most kid-friendly place to begin with.
You got the. I mean, depends on how old you are, I guess. The Lego store,
Yeah,
World Disney.
I just mean like activities, but yeah, in general.
the movies, Rainforest Cafe, T-Rex Cafe.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah. Or bowling even. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's it for Disney Springs. I mean, besides a few things here and there, I think it is better now, to be honest.
I mean, you have more options now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I get it, like upgrading it. It's just I feel like it lost a little bit of its like soul, whatever it had at one point.
Yeah.
But you know,
Maybe.
But I don't know. Anything else you can add about the you think
About
of anything?
Golly, I don't know. Like, there's just so much has changed in the last, 50 years. It's hard, but like I was trying to go back to like when I was younger. I mean, I was 6 in 1990, and we came. Let's see, we came like twice before that. Between when I was a baby, and then, but in the 90s, we came like every year.
Yeah.
So like that was a really big time of like when I was remembering a lot of the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. I mean, maybe like the watercraft stuff. Like you used to be able to surf in Seven Seas Lagoon, but I never did that, so I don't miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, for me, I think the biggest things, if we're talking actual things that could come back, I think like later nights in the parks would be really cool.
Yeah.
And some more perks. I think it just adding in. I have no illusions that Disney's going to come out and say, hey, we're cutting down ticket prices. We hear your feedback. But adding more value into your trip, I think is a good thing overall. But I really do. I remember when we first started going to Disney together, I remember being at Magic Kingdom until like 2 a.m. And it was really cool. Like it was cooler in the evening, but it just has a different atmosphere to it. Yep. And it felt like it was kind of exclusive because it was only on property and you got to like do extra stuff. And it was a cool feeling on the parks.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that's there now, obviously, but we're looking back on yesteryear.
Well, I'm more or less saying bring some of these things back.
I know you are. You're like, now,
like,
get to work.
Get your head out of the sand here and do these things because I think, A, it would be good for them, and B, I think this is what a lot of people would like to see.
Yeah.
Ergo, people would go there more to spend more money. To me, it's just simple math. But anyways, all right. Well, I got nothing else to add.
That's it. That's all I got. Yep.
All right. Well, my brain's empty now of ideas. Anyways, all right, that's going to do it for the show. So before you go, be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Captain Magic everywhere, so you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter X, TikTok, all those places. Find us on the Facebook group, Capture the Magic Community. That's where it's a good place to hang out. You can go there as well. Also, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at Captain Magic. I do daily videos over there, closing in on 12,000 subs. So we have daily videos on theme parks and pop culture where I kind of elaborate more on sometimes the business end of things or trends and stuff like that. And lately talking a lot about Epic Universe as well coming in. So if you want more content there, go check that out. And of course, you want video versions of this show and the Universal show, you can find that over at CTM Podcast on YouTube as well. And be sure to check out some of the other shows on the network. Like I mentioned, the CTM Universal show, where we talk about Universal Studios, and that is twice a month right now. And we'll have probably another episode coming out next week on Monday.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of news that's come out regarding, of course, Epic Universe and some stuff coming up. So
we'll have a re-review of the Hard Rock Hotel.
Yes.
Because we're saying.
A re-review.
A re-review.
Yeah. So we will do that there. Yep. And then be sure to check out Jamie's Trip Report show, Trip Tales.
Yes. I will have another episode. I guess it'll be a week and a half from now. And if you do want to be a guest on a future Trip Tales episode, you can go to ctmtriptales.com, fill out the information at the Be on Trip Tales button, and fill out the information, and it'll send an email to me. If I'm interested in having you on the show, I'll shoot you an email and have you on the show. So give me as much information as you can. And I've picked April, May, June. I don't know if I have July or August yet, but I'm trying to line them up for the next 6 months. So still possibilities if you got a trip coming up.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.